All right, so we're back here on another special edition of Couch Coach Live under the lights here on a Monday night, and we're talking to continue our 10th annual Couch Coach Live NFL preview. What's going on, Maui?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was great. Can't have no complaints, man. You know what I'm saying? Can't have
Yeah,
no complaints. Everybody seemed like they get real excited. Um, it's honestly, everybody seemed like they getting real hyped up with football season coming. I got my aunt to call me, and she was like, "Nephew, do you know how I could watch this game? They blocked it out." So I was able to help her, and then have my uncle Rico hit me up, nephew. You know what I mean? Like so,
yeah.
yeah. Shout out to them, man. They going to the Cleveland Browns and steal a game. So they're gonna her and a lot of people from the family. They're gonna be real excited. So it's gonna be
Oh, that's
cool.
what's up. That's
Right,
what's
right.
up. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, you gotta think about it. The season is pretty much 2 weeks
Yeah,
from Thursday, so yeah, it's here.
everybody. Yeah, everybody on
Yeah.
edge.
Yeah, and preseason week 2 ends tonight, and then obviously you got the final week of preseason starting on Thursday. So, yeah, man, this is it. We're in pretty much in the final stretch, and we essentially you know next well not next week, but Labor Day weekend, Labor Day week. This time 2 weeks, it's a game week. So,
Mm.
definitely it's here. But yeah.
Hey, you did another show. I think what last night?
Yeah, I did two last night.
You
Yeah.
did two last night. What shows with those?
So I was on with my guy Martin Pounds. He is
Mm-hmm.
on his aftermath show. I was on
Yeah.
that one, and then I was on I got Parrish from Let's Be Real Media.
Okay.
They did the NFC East preview, so I was able to do both of those shows yesterday. So shout out
Okay.
to
Cool.
Martin and shout out to the LBR crew and
Okay.
Parrish and them folk, them 901 boys.
Right. Right.
But yeah. So we'll be talking about the NFC South tonight. We'll talk about the Atlanta Falcons. We'll talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers, and the New Orleans Saints. So, and what we're gonna do, we'll take a brief time out, and we'll be right back, and we'll kick off our NFC South preview. We like that. Shout out to our guy Kirk Cousins. So we are back here continuing our 10th annual Couch Coach Live NFL preview. So we're going to talk about the NFC South. And this 10th annual Couch Coach Live NFL preview is brought to you, is powered by the good folks at SeatGeek. Head over to SeatGeek.com. Use our promo code CouchCoach to get yourself $20 off your first purchase. So we always know it's football season coming up. There's games to be going to. I'm gonna give you $20 off. Just use the promo code CouchCoach, and get your tickets. I know there's so many games that's gonna be coming on this fall and winter. So hey, get your tickets early. I got you. I'm gonna give you $20 off. Just use the promo
Okay.
code CouchCoach. So we're back at it here. So we are on our sixth division, 6 of 8. We have two more to close out this week. So we're going to talk about the NFC South tonight. So we're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints, and the Atlanta Falcons.
Mm.
So we'll start off where, excuse me, some storylines to watch in this division. What you got?
Well, the main storyline I got is which one of these teams is going to make it to 10 wins to win the division? Is it going to be Baker Mayfield, who actually is leading the Bucks and following? Actually, some people call him the GOAT, Tom Brady, and lead this team to at least win in division. I mean, you have to say the Bucks was, no disrespect, was horrible before Tom got there, and some of the people that they put there. But once Tom got there, they really was successful. They really dragged themselves there last year. But I also want to know is Baker Mayfield going to have chemistry with better chemistry with Godwin and Evans? Because I felt like Tom didn't have the best chemistry with Evans to me. I felt like it was always something just wasn't clicking. My other storyline is with everything that happened with the Panthers. Um, are they going to? Are they going to keep pushing forward until the pushing forward for positivity after everything that's happened with a great defense with Burns leading the way, and with Bryce Young being there, his receivers is going to have to step up to push them forward. And then the Atlanta Falcons, great running team. There was promise there last year. They've had some additions to the defense. Are they going to be the ones to win the division? You know what I mean? It's wide open. And then I'm gonna end it with the Saints. Even though I know they got their coach. Even though that they just gave Carr 4-year contract. But are they still? They really didn't make any moves. You know what I mean? Like, is Michael Thomason going to play? Kamara's, I see he's back. They got a lot of additions in the running back. But are they really still going to be able to push forward? Because I mean, and win a division. Are they? Did they add enough, or should they have added more and got rid of some stuff? And then the Bucks and them, they're older. You know what I mean? So those are my storylines right now. Which one of these teams are going to move forward from their past? Because it seemed like each one of them had some type of drama. And are we going to move forward and leave that in the past?
Yeah. I think I look at Saints. I'm one of the Saints, but the whole conference in its entirety,
Right.
it's wide open. I think
It's
you look at how it was last year, where essentially it was neck and neck towards the final stretch, where even a team like Carolina essentially had an opportunity to win its division.
Right.
Atlanta, had an opportunity as well, and also New Orleans had had an opportunity to win this division as well. So I look at that as wide open. I think this is going to be a battle of redemption stories. I mean, you look at Michael Thomas. I think now, coming off that 2019 season, we had over 1,700 yards. Now, since that prolific year that he's had, he's only played 10 games. So now you're looking at, can he redeem himself now, especially with that wide receiver core they have, and Chris Olave as well there too. So you look at what he can do there. Look at that. And then old quarterbacks in new places. Obviously, we talked about Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr coming to New Orleans, I think that's a great addition for this team. And then even, what Baker Mayfield could do. And he's going to, has big shoes to fill. And it's will kind of I wouldn't say it's going to be a testament to what he has left in the tank. Will he be the, how Tampa Bay was in the Jameis Winston era, where they were, they were 7-9. Well, they had 17 games back then, but a team that was like hovering over 500, a team that barely can make it out of 500, to Tom Brady, who led this team to a playoff, well, not the playoff, but a Super Bowl in his first year. So, can Baker Mayfield kind of continue what with the well-oiled machine that was Tampa Bay, as far as being divisional? Can he lead the team to a back-to-back divisional title? Well, not back-to-back, but to a divisional title yet again. And then you just look at what's going on, the youth movement in Carolina and Atlanta. You look at the two quarterbacks, Desmond Ridder. We didn't slip up this time, so So shout out to our friend of the podcast, Brittany Renner. We didn't slip up this time.
Right.
But and then also you look at Bryce Young also too. So you got the two new young quarterbacks in this division. So just curious to see what they're gonna do with those. So yeah, it's gonna definitely be a very intriguing division, to say the least.
Right. I feel like I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan, but I kind of respect him a little bit. I really feel like he has this opportunity because I never thought he was going to get another starting job. You know what I mean? And I really think that I think he's going to take this opportunity to really show that he could be a starting quarterback in the NFL, man. Um, I know there's some people better, but I just feel like he do have this burning desire that he'll figure out to win. You know what I mean? So I think he's going to be better than what people think.
Yeah, yeah, and 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 it's one thing with him. He's the former #1 overall pick. He did, lead Cleveland. I mean, led Cleveland to a playoff win. So,
Right.
it's teams are willing to kind of keep the tires on a guy like him.
Mm-hmm.
More, and you see now when we look at quarterbacks now who get chances on chances on chances. Yeah, Baker Mayfield. Yeah, and he like you said, he got something to prove. And I think this is one
Yeah.
thing too, where I think going here, I think will be a good for him. But the time will tell in that situation.
Right.
So, who are your players to watch in the South? Let's see what you got.
I got Adam Thielen, Miles Sanders, because I feel like Bryce Young. You need those veteran quarterbacks, man, to kind of like step. I mean, not quarterback, veteran wide receivers to like make plays, and that's going to help a young man to get his confidence up. I also have for the defense, I got Brian Burns, J.C. Horn. I have Mike Evans and Godwin. Like I said, I feel like same thing. I feel like for Baker Mayfield to truly have success there, they got to make plays. It's the opposite where Tom Brady was putting them in the right positions. Where this is, hey, I need to catch these so we can, you know what I mean? We basically can take that the winning attitude to help Baker Mayfield ascend also. And like I said, Michael Thompson. Let me see. And Chris Liverstream. I think he is a guard for I think Atlanta. If I'm not mistaken. I wrote it down. Like I did this a couple days ago. But yeah, he's a new guard that they I think for Atlanta Falcons. They just gave him a 5-year contract.
Oh, is it Lindstrom? Chris
Yeah,
Lindstrom?
Lindstrom. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think they. I feel like he is
Yeah,
going to be
okay.
a standout for them because they're
No, you good. You good.
one of the top running back teams. So I'm setting my whole setup for that because that's one thing that Atlanta that they can ride on with this new quarterback is that they're really a running team more than anything. You know what I mean? So that's my players to watch.
Okay. I think for Atlanta, it's going to definitely be Bijan Robinson. I think with him, and it's funny because it's weird now. We're looking at, especially how the running back position is being valued at this point, and in other words, being devalued. So him being the first round pick, which it's one of two where it's like I thought we were going to kind of shy away from running backs being first round picks, but this could be a make or break in the sense where hey, if he's successful, we continue to have that trend of having first round running backs. But I definitely think he would be definitely key in the Atlanta offense. Also, so for Atlanta, so Carolina definitely is going to be Bryce Young. You just want to see what he does in that offense. Also, the wide receiver core. I mean, like you said, you talked about Adam Thielen, DJ Chalk. I think and then also the rookie Jonathan Mingo, the Ole Miss prospect. So he falls in that line. I think with you look at the history of their wide receiver core, and at Ole Miss, you look at DK Metcalf, AJ Brown. He fit in that mold. So I think he'll have a great opportunity in this offense to do his thing. With the Saints, I think, like you said, I think Michael Thomas. I think he's gonna. He's definitely to watch because of the limited time that we've seen him this decade. In other words, in theory, this decade. So you look at that. And then Derek Carr, I think now he goes to an offense now where I think he could definitely shine. And I think this is one of those where this is such a great marriage between Derek Carr and this Saints team. So I definitely think he, especially considering the fact coming from essentially the West, where he was essentially like in that division where you had a murderous row of quarterbacks, we got Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, he falls fourth in that pecking order, unfortunately. But here in this division, he literally is the best quarterback in this division, in my
Right,
personal
right.
opinion. So I look at that as well. So Tampa Bay. Also, I look at Mike Evans, Chris Godwin.
Mhm.
Obviously, with them, obviously, especially if Baker Mayfield is successful, they will
Right.
be big contributors to that.
Mhm.
And also on the defensive end, a guy I've always liked since he's been drafted, Vita Vea.
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
he's such an impact, and I remember in that Super Bowl year, like how he was going to have such an impact in that game. Last year, he only had 6 sacks, so I definitely think he has an opportunity, I think, in my personal opinion, to have double-digit sacks. So I definitely
Mhm.
think Vita Vea is definitely somebody that is going to definitely make a huge impact for the Tampa Bay defense. So yeah,
Mhm.
some interesting playmakers on both
Right.
on both ends for all these teams. So
I
that's one
hope.
thing too. Where this team,
No, go ahead, Chris.
so this is one of those Division Two where no one's really devoid of a weapon
Right.
per se. So everybody has, a good amount of weapons on both sides.
I think I'm hope Thompson plays. You know what I mean? Because I feel like
Yeah,
the last time, no disrespect to the other Saints quarterbacks, but Derek Carr, he gonna be looking to throw that ball down there. He gonna be looking to feed him. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And because he got something to prove. Like everybody, like I said, this whole division seemed like everybody got something to prove, even just from a team aspect. Like everyone, like you know what I mean. So it's gonna be
yeah,
interesting, man.
yeah, absolutely. So we got to talk about some breakout players that in this division. So which standouts that you're looking that are poised to have a breakout year? Who
Well,
you
it seemed
got?
like me and you got the same mindset. Maybe that's why we work together. I got BJ Robinson. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah,
Especially with one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, especially in the division. I think he's going to be the breakout guy. And I got Chris Olive. You know what I'm saying? He was a rookie year candidate. But I think he's going to be a breakout also.
yeah. All right. Any other ones in the division?
No,
Okay. Oh, good.
mm-hmm.
So I got for Atlanta, I got Drake London.
Mm-hmm.
He's one where he had nearly 900 yards receiving last year, 4 touchdowns. So I definitely think he'll, especially if we look at Desmond Ritter as the long-term starter of this team, and
Mm-hmm.
throughout the whole season, he's gonna have to rely on a lot of Drake London. And obviously, they already have Cal Pitts there as well offensively, like we talked about Bijan Robinson as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I think Drake London is poised to have enough. I think he's going to have 1,000-yard receiving year. I wouldn't necessarily say he might be a double-digit touchdown guy. Possibly, he might be on the fringe. I can see him maybe having like 8, 9, maybe doubling his production from last year,
Right.
as far as from a touchdown perspective. Um, J.C. Horn for Carolina. Obviously, last year had 3 interceptions last year,
Mm-hmm.
and 13 starts. He's definitely back from his, obviously when he got injured his rookie year, he came
Mm-hmm.
back this year pretty strong. And then just definitely curious now with my guy D'Angelo Hall now as the assistant DB coach, how he'll
Mm-hmm.
work under J.C. Horn. So I think J.C. Horn is going to be like his sensei in a sense, where I think J.C. Horn is going to definitely be a big fit. I think that's definitely going to be someone that he can lean on as far as having D'Angelo Hall in the building. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely think that'll help his production as well. I think with the Saints, I think Jawan Johnson, the tight end,
Mm-hmm.
I think last year he had 500 yards last year and 7
Mm-hmm.
touchdowns. And now I think with Derek Carr there, obviously you look at his past, what he's had with his tight end connection. Not saying that that Jawan Johnson is a Darren Waller-esque
Right.
player, but we know like as far as his his essentially his ability to define tight end. So I definitely think Jawan Johnson will be definitely a huge beneficiary in this offense with Derek Carr as the head of this offense. And
Mm-hmm.
I think Baker Mayfield is the final one for Tampa
Mm-hmm.
Bay. I think I literally because I think what people fail to realize, like, and it's weird to say that because because he's experienced the lows, then he got a little high, and then went back a little bit lower. So I definitely think he's poised to have another. I wouldn't say. Dare I say he's gonna have a 2020 season where that season where he had 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
Mhm.
He had. I'm telling you, if I was saying that November of 2020 from that on down to January 2021, he had an MVP s type of stretch. If somebody
Mhm.
played the best football during that time frame, it was Baker Mayfield. So um, I don't. I want to lean towards the latter. I think he will be the legitimate quarterback because even last year, you look at what happened with him in Carolina. Then
Yeah.
even the success, the success he had even with the Rams with on that Thursday night game. You looked at like, okay, this is the Baker Mayfield of old. This is the Oklahoma Baker Mayfield that I've known. This is the you know the Baker Mayfield a la 2020 that we've seen. So he's had flashes. And I think even with Carolina last year, it was just so much going on in Carolina. So I kind of chalk it up to just even though Carolina was, and the crazy thing about it was Carolina started getting hot once Baker Mayfield got traded, which is bizarre. But in that time period, Baker Mayfield was there. It was a little chaotic. But so
Can I
that's
piggyback?
how I look at, huh?
Can I piggyback something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So I definitely agree with JC Horn. I had him as my players to watch, but I think the players in breakout is almost the same. So I feel like he's gonna have a breakout season too. I do agree. That's exactly what I'm trying to say about Baker Mayfield. I feel like he was in the Browns and he had to take them from the sewer to where people would necessarily talk about him. And then when he went to Carolina, Carolina actually, after everything they had somewhat of a successful season after all that drama, and he was a
Yeah.
part of that. So I do believe, man, when he get down here now that he with the Bucks, that it's gonna be a problem. You know what I mean? Because I believe when you get, he's seen how everybody talked about him and treated him, and you got to understand he was in a division with some of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he still was. Nobody ever really said anything necessarily negative about him. So I think I agree with that, and I also think that I'm gonna say with the running game in Atlanta, I'm gonna say Desmond Ritter is gonna have a breakout season also.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So we got any NFC South bold takes. What you got?
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
So I got one. So my NFC bold take is the Atlanta Falcons defense is going to be top five and will make a run for the playoffs. But they will fall short to the Panthers. And I said Desmond Ritter will finish with 9 interceptions, 22 TDs, and 17 to 2,000 yards.
Yes, I think I only really got one, and even though I don't necessarily think it's a hot take, I think it's
Right,
more of a mild take.
right,
I definitely think BJ Robinson is going to be a top five rusher in this league.
right,
He'll definitely eclipse the 1,000 yard mark, so I definitely think he
right.
will be there. Um, I that's really far a hot take, but I definitely think, like I even mentioned earlier, where I definitely think that Michael Thomas is going to have he'll have another perennial 1,000 yard season. Not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily think he's going to have 1,700 like he did 4 years ago, but I definitely think he'll be back in his frame. But I definitely think I'm really high on this BJ Robinson. Like I definitely think he's gonna. I think he's gonna help as far as help this disrespectfulness when it comes to running back, and you'll see kind of how valuable the running back position is in a sense. So
He was
yeah,
the highest drafted running back since Saquon Barkley, right?
yeah, hmm
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
and especially in the era now where it's weird. Like one period they kind of shied away from getting running backs in the first round. Then obviously Saquon 2018, and then also BJ and Robinson. Then also too. So you look at, I think he'll definitely essentially be one way. I wouldn't say they're gonna turn the corner when it comes to the as far as the running back conversation. I definitely think he will be somebody that would be like, okay, yes, he was a big contributor in the success of said Atlanta Falcons. I don't know how much success they'll have, but it'll be somewhat success.
Right.
Yeah. So we gotta do record predictions. So how will the NFC South play out?
So in fourth place, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 5-12. I have in third place, I have the New Orleans Saints at 8-9. At number two, I have the Atlanta Falcons at 9-8. And winning the division, I have the Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young
Okay.
at 10-7.
10-7. Okay, not bad, not bad. All right. So I have the New Orleans Saints at 10-7. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 7-10. I got the Panthers at 6-11, and I got the Atlanta Falcons at 5-12.
Wow. The
Yeah.
disrespect is real. As much as he loved coming to the Atlanta Falcons arena.
I mean, hey, everybody do. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think what's going to happen with them, I think they're good. I mean, they're a solid football team, but I definitely think now when you have better teams in this division, it's going to be a little bit harder. I definitely think it's going to be a lot more difficult than last year.
I think what I was with you, and what I saw was they picked up a lot of players, and I didn't really put them down like Bud Dupree. A few players on the defense that I felt like, oh, they might have a solid little defense that might do something, but the couch coach. So,
no, I mean, hey, that's just the opinion, man. It's
right.
And I'll be dead wrong with half this stuff. So,
yeah. But word, man, like it's so crazy, man, because the Bucks for years was horrible. Then they just went up to a place, and now they seem like they right back where they were. They didn't really lose anybody on their coaching staff either, right?
Yeah, Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Leftwich got fired. No, because you still got Todd Bowles there.
Why did Leftwich get fired?
Huh?
Why did Leftwich get fired?
Because the offense was struggling. Yeah, they got rid of him. Yeah, so they their offensive coordinator now is who is their offensive coordinator? Because they have a new coordinator, new OC. So it's Dave Canales, which don't know much about Dave. So so definitely.
Wasn't there some drama with Leftwich? Like he was trying to get a coaching job or something?
I mean, well, he was trying to get one. He was trying to get one when he was that Super Bowl year, which so it's kind of one of those where, so he was Canales is actually he was the quarterback's coach at Seattle last year, so that's that's good.
But,
that's a definitely especially and you think about the retread in a sense of the revival of Geno Smith. Could he essentially revive Baker Mayfield's career? Because a lot of people, like you said, even though it's the most weirdest thing, like how can a guy who's won a playoff game on the road in his first 3 years his career can be considered a bust? Like, I mean, there's people still saying that he's a bust, and I'm like, no, like you were 0-6. You guys were 0-16.
Yeah, you talking about Baker?
Yeah, and I'm like, he was like, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so it can revitalize him because, and it's funny because it's almost eerily similar, kind of almost like with Geno, because people still think Geno, he overachieved. I mean, he underachieved, but I'm like, he's still in the league. That's the thing about the psyche of people.
Right.
When you're a bust, you're out of the league in years.
Right.
Geno Smith been in the league for a decade.
Right.
Baker Mayfield's gonna be in here for a decade as well. He may not be a starter if things don't work out here in Tampa Bay, but he'll be a backup somewhere if he wants to be a backup.
Right.
Trust me, he'll never go hungry in NFL for the next decade.
A franchise like the Cleveland Browns was 0-16.
Yeah.
He comes in And I mean, he might have got a little too big headed. You know what I mean? Because he felt like that's what he needed to do because that's what helped his success. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here in front. Like I remember that Joe Burrow versus Baker Mayfield game where they was just throwing that ball down the field. I remember that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna knock him because it's when you're a starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, and y'all the year before that they was 0-16. It's so much more you got to do than just X and O's. You know what I mean? It's a lot more you have to do. And he was a rookie, even though he's number one. He got paid all that commercials. It's more than just what you was playing on the field. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit here and act like he ain't got no leadership qualities. You know what I mean? I'm not a hater. You know?
Yeah.
And
Trust
you
me.
coming at Super Bowl success, and you coming right after Tom Brady.
Yep. He built for it. He built for it.
Right.
So
And I believe that too. I believe that too. Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. If I had to pick between the two, and you may not agree with me, but if I pick between the two, between Baker and Carr, I would probably take Baker, to be honest with you, because I think Carr would be more submissive than Baker would.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think, but I like David Carr's leadership. I think he's just one of those where it's kind of give or take. It's like he's got like a weird, not weird, but I think with Baker, not Baker Mayfield, but both of them still like guys. But I think Derek Carr is one of those ones where I definitely think
he's a better quarterback.
When it comes to he's a better quarterback. And I think and Derek Carr, I think in my personal opinion, he's probably a better leader as well too.
You think so?
I just think, I think with him, it's I've just seen like how he handled the Henry Ruggs situation. He handled that very well, and I really was impressed because I even was like, man, that's the guy that I want on my team as a quarterback.
Yeah, I want him on my
handled
team
that
too.
as well. But I mean, I like both quarterbacks, so it's like
I like Baker Mayfield. He all right.
I like both. I think they, especially in this division, they will be good in this division because they don't have that pecking order in this division, like we talked about. Carr being, coming from the West now to the South,
right.
And then you look at him, looking at Baker coming from the, essentially from the North to now coming out here to the South. So, he don't have to worry about, even though he had Joe Burrow's number. So, that's one thing where it's like
Hey, B, I'm serious. Like I remember sitting back, and if you really love football, even though they going up against my rival, I want to beat them up, and I'm like, he just threw that ball right down the field. I'm like, he just threw that ball right down the field.
Baker,
back and forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Baker dog, but it's definitely gonna be interesting of how the South is gonna play. So this gonna definitely, and this one I definitely think it's just gonna be one team in. This we've always kind of made cases the last pretty much 6 previews where we can see multiple teams, we can see 4 teams, all 4 teams make it. So and that's a great tease to the final 2 ones that we have as we talk about the East, where I think we look at those kind of as a tease that they'll have multiple teams in making the playoffs in those divisions. So I think especially in the NFC South, I think some of those wild card spots are going to be taken by the NFC East, but we will tease that. That's for a Thursday night conversation because I'll be here till 10 o'clock at night talking about the NFC East. So
right.
So
hey,
yeah.
Hey, I ask you when we get off.
So we'll put a bow on the NFC South preview. So final words, final thoughts, and then social media where they can find you.
Oh man, great show. Gonna be an interesting division to watch. But yeah, man, Deshaun Morgan, Facebook, DT Morgan 78 Instagram. Getting closer and closer to actually we getting closer and closer to the NFC East. When it comes to this preview, that's the division you really want to see. What I mean? Because I'm interested to see who's gonna be on the show, and I'm interested to see what you gonna say.
Oh yeah, we have a packed house on Thursday night. So Thursday night gonna be on. I'm working on some stuff. I'm trying to find a Cowboys guy, but I'm gonna have pretty much my NFC East, my NFC Beast brethren. The show I do on Saturday nights. Most of them gonna be there. Like three of the guys gonna be on there Thursday night. So it's gonna be a very interesting night to say the least. So it'll be fun. You know. So yeah, and so pretty much, and then then tomorrow we have the AFC East. We have the Podfather on tomorrow, so he'll be joining us tomorrow talking about the East, and then we'll close it out on Thursday for the NFC East. So had to say the best for the last. So had to and always will. So yeah, so pretty much pretty much follow the show on anywhere social media, Facebook, Twitter, aka X, on the Couch Coach Live, pretty much any social media, even Threads. We're on Threads, Couch Coach Live. Also, the podcast is available anywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify. We're there, iHeart, all of it. We're there. And check out the website, couchcoachlive.com. And also check out the YouTube page. And definitely, hey, if you need some tickets to games, SeatGeek, use that promo code Couch Coach. And man, we'll catch you guys tomorrow as we talk about the AFC East. And we're out.